Hey, hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
And how is everyone doing? Hope
Hello.
you're all doing well. Reggie,
I'm good.
doing okay?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're going to need, I'm going to need your help on this particular one, right?
Okay.
Because the nature of this conversation and especially the run up to the elections, right? I feel like someone has to be saying something. I don't understand this witch hunt. I don't understand what this woman's problem is. Um,
She's
Hopefully,
a
we will get to the bottom of it.
she's a fucking coon. That's what's wrong with her.
Okay, we will take our time and get to it. Okay, Reggie. But I don't understand it, and it's just screams. Um, just the vitriol. I don't get it. I don't. So anyway, Vessel, hello, and how are you?
Hello, good evening. I'm well. How are you guys?
All
Hope you're
right,
well.
good. I'm good, thank you. Do you
I'm
know
good.
anything about Candace?
No, nothing at all.
Right. Okay. So what we will do,
I do.
okay. Reggie, tell us what you know about Candice, and then I will pull up the information what we have of her.
She's doing what I know about her is that she is a internet celebrity.
Mm,
She's very well educated. She speaks well. Um she's also a liar and she's a hypocrite.
mm,
She's been a victim of racial discrimination, and on the other hand, she pretends like these things don't exist, and she's literally been awarded money for these things happening to her, but nobody ever speaks about it. But what is she doing? Is she's doing it for attention, and she's doing it for fame, and she's doing it for money. So she's lying. Now, I want to touch on something that I see people saying in the comments. They're lying. So, for example, Chris Peacock and Front Street T, both of you are lying, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So, Chris, you're saying Kamala isn't black at all. Her dad was born in Jamaica, but he wasn't black. Elon Musk was born in Africa, but he wasn't black either. You're doing exactly what Candace Owens does, right?
mm,
You're
mm.
mixing some truth in with a lie, right? So, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you a picture of her father, right? And I'm gonna show you a picture of her mother. Now, I don't know if you remember her from back in the '90s, but she's also the same person that dated Montel Williams, even though that's besides the point.
She dated Montel.
hmm
All right. Okay.
hmm Also, if we want to look at things racially and ethnically, right? Um, she's more black than Obama is.
Mm, mm-hmm.
She, she's more black than Obama is, and the reason why is
But
because
but who gets to determine blackness? Who gets to determine? Oh, you're more black than your. Well,
I'm
come on.
I'm talking about by blood. By
Okay,
blood, she's
by blood.
more.
Okay.
She's closer related to the average black American than Barack Obama is. And the reason why she is because her mother's from India and her father's from Jamaica, right? I'm gonna show
Right.
you a picture of her father with an afro.
That's a wonderful mix.
Right. He has afro, he's
Jamaica
black.
and
He's
India. Wow,
he's
what
just
a
not
mix.
he's just not dark skinned. Like I'm not dark skinned,
Yes, yes.
not
My
every
friend who's Jamaican, you should see her hair. Her hair looks like she does say that her hair is a mixture of Indian and some other mix, but she's Jamaican. But she's not dark
right.
at all.
And not all Jamaicans are black, but her father is. I'm gonna show you right here.
Okay. Do you need
So
me to put you
hold on.
on the
I'm gonna
big
pull up the screen.
screen? NJ.
Hold on. I don't know what I just did with the picture.
So who's this over here on the right?
This is what I'm trying to show you. I just don't know what I'm doing. But this is her mother and father right here,
My mom
as
and
you can
dad.
clearly see. That's her mom. That's her mom and dad. The picture all the way to the right. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to blow it up so you can actually see what her father looks like. Yeah. Is her father light? Yes. Is he white? No.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how to make it bigger. I'm trying my hardest. Here's another example of him and her. Right. This is him
Mm-hmm.
holding her right there. You can clearly
Right.
see. This is a man with afro. Right.
Hmm. Yes, that's
So
a black man. Man.
you can clearly see that he's black. He doesn't have to be a dark skinned Jamaican just to be Jamaican. He clearly is a black person.
Yeah, that
She
is a
clearly
black man.
she clearly, if you look at her closely, she clearly has a perm. I've never seen a person from India that needs that. Now I'm not gonna say that her mother is not Indian, but her father is from Jamaica. He's a black person. However you look at it.
So, what gives Candace any right to tell another um, how black they are or how black they are not? What gives her that right? Who is she, by the way?
Right, she's a coon. She doesn't have our interests in hand in no way, and she tries to pretend like things that happen don't happen. So she's not the person to even make that call.
And this is why I feel like we need to have this conversation about her. And my plan is to run a series on Candice. I'm gonna go way back with just some of her views over the years, just listening to some of the things. But it's just this whole thing going after Kamala, and I'm thinking, you're a black woman as well. You're a black woman, but look at you, just ugh.
How do we look ridiculous, Front Street? You're only saying one side of the story. All you keep saying over and over and over is her mother's from India, her mother's from India, her mother's from India, her mother's from India. That's half of the story. Hey, her father is clearly a black Jamaican. However
Reggie,
you look at it.
Reggie, please, can you tell us what is what is the why is there so much focus on her race, her ethnicity? What is the big deal? Please tell
It's
us,
some,
for us who don't understand.
it's something to say. It's just something to say. It's something to say to discredit her. You have to think about
Mm,
the dynamics of the United States. Let's speak from her point of view, right? What does she gain from saying that she is a black person? We are 13% of the population. A lot of black people don't even vote. Do you know who Nikki Haley is? Nikki Haley,
yes, please.
both of her parents are from India. She has bleached her skin and changed her name and told you and won't even acknowledge the fact that she's from India, right? Her family is from India, right? So again, this can be played in both ways. So you have to think: do you get privilege in the United States from being a black person, or do you get privilege in the United States from being a white person? So why would she do that? Why would she sit there and just keep on making up a lie saying that she's black if she's not? She's from fucking Oakland. I have videos of her sitting there putting fucking hot sauce on goddamn collard greens and shit. I done seen her fucking dancing. I done seen her damn daddy. She doesn't benefit from keeping this lie going. But on the other hand, Nikki
Exactly.
Haley did. Doesn't make sense.
Hey, Crispy Cook, and hey, theoretically, good to see you both. Okay, let's see. Vessel, did you want to say anything yet, or
I'm listening in. I'm
okay?
listening in.
I'm also learning as we go along. So anyway, we've got Candace Amber Owens, Farmer Nee Owens, born the 29th of April 1989, in an American political no, she is an American political commentator and pundit. She's mostly described as conservative or far right. Owens has gained recognition for her conservative activism, despite being initially critical of President Donald Trump and the Republican Party, as well as her criticism of Black Lives Matter. Owens served as communications director for the conservative advocacy group Turning Point USA from 2017 and 2019. In 2018, Owens co-founded Blexit among the former Tucson police officer Brandon Tatum. After working for PragerU in 2021, Owens joined the Daily Wire and began hosting Candace, a political talk show. She was dismissed. She was dismissed. Oh, okay. We will do her whole dismissal um from the Wire. So she was dismissed in March 2024 following a series of comments widely regarded as anti-Semitic. Months of tensions between co-host Ben Shapiro and other Daily Wire staff. Owens has expressed skepticism about the extent of white supremacy's impact on society and has voiced opposition to both COVID 19 lockdowns and COVID 19 vaccines. She has promoted numerous conspiracy. She has promoted numerous conspiracy theories. Since 2024, Owens has become a proponent of various anti Semitic conspiracy theories. Right. So because I plan to do a series on her, we will get to say her early life. We will get to, you know, marriage and where she's at, her beliefs and all this. But um, it's just it's interesting, just how far that she has come, right? And getting dismissed for her views shows that she's not very I don't know, she's not I don't think she filters her information, the information she gets. I think she lets her emotions get the better of her. She lets her views, her political views, her conservative views get the better of her, right? This Candace. And so what I don't understand is you have a black woman running, and what is your problem exactly? What is your problem, Candace?
Her first problem is going to be is they're on opposing sides of, they have opposing political views. So
True,
that
true.
that's the first issue with her. But after that, it's all for financial gain. She's doing this because she has a particular audience. I say all the time, right? In the United States,
Hey, Mr. Sunny.
we
Hey,
really don't need
Sunny.
white supremacists that much, and the reason why is because we have coons like her that do the job for them. They
Mm-hmm.
make up conspiracy theories, critical race theories. They try to pretend like slavery didn't happen or it was something good, or these things that are happening to black people just didn't happen. But again, if anyone's watching this, she knows for a fact that the things that she's saying don't happen, and the reason why is because it has happened to her. She's even filed a lawsuit.
Can
I
you
will
say that again, please? She
she
knows that the things that she's saying happened.
no the things that she goes against, like Black
Yeah.
Lives Matters groups and things like that. Okay, their mission and their their goal, and they're saying that things are happening to black people and this, that,
Mm-hmm.
and the third.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that these things are really happening. And
Right.
the reason why I know she knows it, besides the fact she lives here, is she's been a victim of the shit herself. Literally.
But she's going out there and denying
Hmm.
that these things are happening.
Hmm.
Right.
She's been a victim. She has a first hand account. She's been in lawsuits about it and everything.
Really.
Yes, before she even became famous.
Mm.
And I can prove it.
Okay. Okay.
No, this
So
is hypocritical. I don't
Yes.
yes,
understand.
she's the biggest hypocrite there is
Mhm.
then. So what we're going to do, and hey, Miss Mizani, let's see, who else do we have? Miss Mizani, um, Candice is a nut, but that doesn't make her wrong. Hey, Dima, how are you, Dima? Good to
Yes,
see
it does
you.
make her wrong.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna show you she's wrong.
Yep, she's sued for
You can't
discrimination. Okay.
you can't sit there and be suing and saying that these things are happening to you. Oh, I'm being racially discriminated against because I'm black, blah 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 blah. Then sit there and get on national fucking TV and tell, oh, this Black Lives Matter. That's not really what's happening. It's not going on, bitch. It happened to you, and you got paid from it.
So, what we're going to do, we're going to do a quick review of the video that this is her very latest video, what she has put out there. She has a series where she is going in to Kamala's life. She's taking apart the woman's life like it is her business, going to her family, going to the people that are, the ones that part of the family members, right? Going to go and find out, did she go to this school, did she do this, did she do that? And I'm wondering, what is what why so invested?
'Cause she's a
Why are you
hater.
so invested? Yes, that. And why this is actually very important, because she also talks about Barack Obama, and it's just one talking point she has, discrediting these people for their race. And I don't know, but never mind, guys. Hopefully we will get to the start of how she started going in on Kamala, right? But this is the very latest one.
All right, guys, happy Tuesday. I am back. I am back. And boy, oh boy, I go away for 1 week. Honestly, it was 1 week. And Kamala's team decided they would just do the absolute most. I mean, I'm all the way in Tokyo getting messages that Kamala is appearing on podcasts, that Kamala has dropped another accent, that Barack Obama is telling black people that they have to vote for her, black men particularly, that they have to vote for her, or maybe they're not black. You ain't black. I'm doing that again. Absolutely no one will convince me that this was not a direct response to our series. Because among very many other things, let the history books tell the truth. Kamala Harris lost the black vote because she put greens in the bathtub. And now, with just 21 days left until the election, she's basically forced to do so much press.
That's a lie.
Hold on. Just hear that. She lost the black vote because she puts greens in the bathtub. Greens, right? Apparently, there was a talk of something. Maybe her mom or grandma, one of them, right, used to wash their greens in the bathtub.
See,
Oh, the people said, no, that's not a black thing to do. No, she lied. That's a lie. We don't wash our greens in the bathtub. Apparently, she has lost black votes because of washing greens in a bathtub. Reggie,
I've heard of that
this
before.
is madness.
I've heard of people wash them in the washing machine.
No, but yes, that's Reggie. This is madness. Like, what? You're
Listen,
telling me that people vote
listen,
because of washing greens?
listen, listen. If if Kamala Harris, right? If Kamala Harris does not get 85%
Mm,
of the
mm.
black vote, I will be a monkey's fucking uncle. The fuck is she talking about?
Wait, this is when I tell you, this lady, the things that come out of her mouth, right? She's all put together. Look at her. She's pretty. She's, educated and all. But my goodness, does she take her time to listen to herself?
To try to earn it back. And that's why she's recently announced that she's going to go on to the Breakfast Club, Power 105. I will be watching that. I think it's supposed to be at 5 p.m. We're going to talk about that. But first, we are back with a potentially explosive revelation, not only bizarre skeleton that might be in Kamala's closet, totally bizarre if it's true. I want to be very
Is
clear.
it
There
too
is nowhere
fast?
that Kamala Harris can hide from me. There's no accents that she can throw on that is going to throw me off the
Accent.
scent. So let's just get started. Welcome back to Candace.
This is the Black Karen.
Oh,
That's
Karen of
exactly
the
what
High
she
Club.
is.
Article written by
Is it going too fast, guys?
Yes.
So let me slow it down then. Vessel, did you want to add more on top of what you said about the black Karen?
No, her face does actually yes, her face looks a bit familiar. Was she acting
Mm.
at some point?
Sorry, say that again.
Was she an actress at some point?
I don't think so. No.
She's acting right now.
Okay.
uh, okay, let's this girl.
what are the chances of this? It was written by a Japanese guy. I'm in Japan, and now I'm getting sent an article that's written by.
Okay, so there's an article
She
that she
needs
has
so
found,
much information
right?
to info at
Written by a
CandaceOwens.com.
Japanese
And I was
guy.
wondering if there was going to be anything big. And lo and behold, someone sends me a link to an article written what are the chances of this? It was written by a Japanese guy. I'm in Japan, and now I'm getting sent an article that's written by some Japanese guy who claims that he knows all about Kamala, all about Kamala's family, particularly all about Kamala's mother, who he said was involved in the MK Ultra program. So first and foremost, stop the presses. Some
What
of you
did I
guys know
got
this
to do with
podcast.
her?
Some of you guys are not new, and you know that when we began this independent endeavor, I basically said that reading the book Chaos.
What the?
So MK, what's MK Ultra, Reggie?
I don't know, but my thing is this: what did I got to do with her? That doesn't matter. What my family do, or whatever my family does, that does not discredit me as a person. I hate when people be like, okay, so for example, like when Joe Biden, when he was still a thing, oh, Hunter Biden, he did this,
Yes,
Hunter
laptop,
Biden,
laptop,
Hunter.
laptop. The laptop.
Who gives a fuck? Who don't got somebody in their family that's on drugs or something? Who don't
Exactly.
got somebody in their family that's crazy? Who don't got somebody in their family that's keep getting locked up? Everybody do.
Everyone.
Donald Trump himself, his brother was an alcoholic.
Donald Trump is a criminal.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just using that as for example. Everybody
Right,
has somebody in their family, but that you can't use that to discredit them.
right, right.
You got to bring something up on that person.
Mm. So a lot of this her digging into Kamala's life, right? We will go over this. This is going to be a series on up until the election. Um, a lot of what she's doing is going to look at what the people in Kamala's family have got up to. Some of her family members were part of the MK, part of this, but it's nothing to, there's nothing. Listen, if Kamala had anything she could pin on her, this one, this one wants to be the first to say, I found it. This one, she wants to nail Kamala, right? She wants to, I don't get it. Da boy, hello, da boy. Okay, Theo has put some information about MK Ultra. Okay, I will check it out.
Was required reading. It was all about the MK Ultra program. It was all about the Charles Manson murders that actually the CIA was involved in. Like Charles Manson, we were supposed to believe he was this big scary guy who was behind all of these murders in Hollywood, when in reality the CIA had him as
She just
essentially
making
he
up
was a Fed. They
bullshit.
turned him while he was in prison. Obviously, were allowing him to give out all of this LSD to brainwash these women. I mean, just an incredible story that really makes you confront what your government is capable of. And so when I read this guy and he's saying that her mother was a part of the MK Ultra program, that she was essentially experimenting on monkeys, it kind of made things fit for me in a way, just like it passed the sniff test, because I know, and we're not going to get into it in this episode, that the civil rights movement was not a natural movement. It was a movement that was being done by people that had an interest in changing the dynamics in America. Black Americans were essentially
What do
just
this
being
have to
told.
do with anything?
Obviously, we know that after the civil rights movement, some of the things that were
What
installed
is
were meant to
this?
actually destroy.
It wasn't. Oh,
She's just rambling on about a bunch of different shit that have no correlation with each other, that have nothing to do with. Listen, you're talking about stuff that was before you was born. You're talking about stuff
mm-hmm.
that was before
The civil
anybody in
rights
the president.
movement.
Right? This don't have nothing to do with her.
So
And if her
what is
mom
this?
did do it, it don't got nothing to do with her mom either. Her mom is not even wasn't even an American citizen. What does this have to do with anything?
That's the thing. She's got an audience that want to hear this. She's got an audience that will jump at everything that she is saying. This is absolutely crazy. This is like taking your own to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, like okay,
Also,
so all right, go ahead, Vessel.
no, no, go on, Reggie.
Well, I was just gonna say, Theo, radically, hey, this shit may be true. It might be, but it don't got nothing to do with the presidential race. It don't have nothing to do with it.
What's that? What could be true?
He's saying MK Ultra was real, but what she's spinning it to be mostly probably not. And there's
Okay,
a
let's
couple other
see.
people that were saying something else about this, but this don't got nothing to do with the president, the presidential candidates. It don't have nothing to do with nothing.
MK Ultra, what's that?
Mm.
Let's see. I see a movie. So MK Ultra. Okay, project MK Ultra. Let's see here.
The CIA is known for doing a bunch of stuff. Remember, I was telling you about how how the crack epidemic started here.
Yes.
It's because the CIA. And one part I didn't tell you, and it's the part I want you to know, and because you said something that really triggered me to remember.
Okay.
They they knew that the crack epidemic was going to be so bad, and the reason why they knew is because they tested crack on monkeys. They had monkeys smoking crack, right?
Oh.
And they knew how, what we call Jones and for how they would come right back for
Mm,
it.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
they
mm,
experimented on them first, so they knew that shit was gonna happen. And so once they brought it, boom.
So, how is Kamala's mom involved in all of this now? Hmm.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. So, MK Ultra redirection. Let's see. Project MK Ultra was a human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. The term MK Ultra is a CIA cryptonym. MK is an arbitrary prefix standing for the Office of Technical Service. And ultra is an arbitrary word out of a dictionary to denominate this project. Project MK Ultra began in 1953 and was halted in 1973. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD
Need some
and
water.
other chemicals, without the subjects concerned. Additionally, other methods beyond chemical compounds were used, including electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. Right? So I think we have like a general idea of what this is. I mean, this I'm sure there's a whole lot more information, but to bring this up in a conversation about Kamala, I don't know what this lady's trying to do. But hey,
the black community, when you get into LBJ, who was horrifically racist. I mean, so much happened in the 60s, shooting of JFK, that we still don't have answers for, but we kind of know who shot JFK and who was behind the shooting of JFK. Anyways, this guy is saying that her mother was a part of that, and that makes sense to me because we know that Shamala Goplin, don't know if I'm saying her name right,
Shamala.
incredibly intelligent scientist, and yet spent so much time at these protests, just intertwining herself in the civil rights movement. Not the average thing that somebody who's like experimenting on baboons is like, okay, I get a free weekend, I want to go down to a protest, unless you're being told to sort of
Wait a
infiltrate.
minute. Can you stop this real quick?
So I thought, okay, this is plausible, but
Can you pause real quick? She was like, she said it was strange that Kamala's mom would be on the front lines of civil rights
Protest.
movement protests. That's
Protest.
that's not strange when you're sitting there having sex with a black man. It's not strange, and especially
Exactly.
and it's also not strange when you're an immigrant yourself.
Yeah, because what will affect the black people can somehow affect you as well. And where
Hell
where
yeah.
where does empathy come in? Look, Reggie, when there was Black Lives Matter, the protest here in the UK, you see a lot of white people are on the front there, holding their placards as well, right? To say, look, we're not black, but we support.
Especially
What
in
is
those
she
days,
talking about?
during the civil rights movement, people from India didn't have no kind of fucking rights here. None. None.
Hmm.
And the rights they got because of black people fought for them. So I
Right.
don't know, like, what she's talking about.
Hmm. She's one is crazy.
but also not really relevant, right? Because it's not going to shape the election. You can't exactly blame Kamala for the crimes of her mother. Also, if her mother worked for the
Then
government and they
why are
told her
you
to
bringing
experiment
all
on
this
monkeys,
up?
okay, what are you going to do? But it was something else that was buried within this article that caught
Hmm.
my eye.
Go on.
Okay. Now, before I tell you what that was, the first thing that you're thinking is, Candace, how do you know that this Japanese guy wasn't just some crazy person? That's what my husband said. Fair points. Obviously, you get tons of emails. So this could be a total schizophrenic guy who's just putting together a storyline and is writing all crazy. So I said, let me just do a little bit of research into this guy. And there's actually tons of
So, this stream is titled Was Kamala Harris Previously Married?
I think so.
Right? Previously married. And so she finds an article written by this Japanese guy, right? And quickly she jumps on it because she finds something that will fit her narrative, right? So the question then is he trustworthy? Is this person trustworthy? Right? So she's going to go on to tell you the yardstick that she used to determine that this person is trustworthy or not. Okay? So She sounds desperate for content. Well, mm-mm. Okay, right.
So my thing is this, right? When she came on, right? She said that, oh, I've only been gone a week, and Kamala did ba 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 ba,
Yeah,
right? So
she
you're
changed her accent. She came
right,
up
right,
with a
right,
new
right,
accent.
right, right. So you said all this stuff about her since she been gone for a week, right? So
Wait, Reggie,
but wait a
hold
minute,
on.
hold on. But
Oh,
your rebuttal to that is to start bringing up stuff about her mom.
mm,
That's wild.
no, she talks as if whatever she's doing in this her little studio in her house here is impacting on Kamala.
Right,
That whatever she's doing, because you heard her when she said she thinks that whatever things that Kamala did in this 1 week she's been gone is in direct relation to whatever she's talking about in her little studio thingy what she's doing here, right? So this one thinks that Kamala waited for her to go away, and Kamala decided, oh, let's quickly let's. Oh, who do you think you are, Candace? You are a nobody. Nobody.
right. I don't know why she thinks that she affects her day to day life like that. Now, what I will say is she is somewhat famous here, but
Mm,
in no way are you gonna dictate what the average person does. Not even the average black person, because most black Americans I know don't like you. So
mm, okay.
of things available about him, and there's actually a video of him speaking about something that has nothing to do with Kamala. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to practice your own discernment. I'm a big believer in believing your own eyes and believing your own ears, right? So I'm going to show you a video of the author of that article. I'm telling you his name is Yoichi Shimatsu. And here is a video of him. We're just going to show you a clip of him discussing the Japanese Fukushima nuclear disaster. Take a listen.
Well, there's two phenomena that came out of the Fukushima nuclear releases in 2011, when huge amounts of radioactive isotopes were released from, especially from reactor 3, but the 3 reactors that melted down, and the reactor 4 spent fuel pool, which was on fire. The first problem was that the disaster occurred on 3/11 in March, but by April through May of that same year, 2011, a massive ozone hole started to open up over the North Pole. And the timing suggests that it was a catastrophic event caused by some phenomena, which could only have been the Fukushima disaster. What the basis of that is, the scientific basis for this ozone hole would be that every ionizing radioactive isotope, every single one of them, are massive destroyers of ozone.
So, what do your eyes and ears tell you about that guy immediately? Not a crazy person, seems highly intelligent. The reason why we do that is because one of the exercises that
no.
journalists today take place in is constantly trying to discredit people, calling people crazy, don't pay attention to this person.
So we watch him speak about a particular subject, a particular topic, and that is the yardstick for determining his functions, his mental functions, right? Just we see a video, and yeah, he looks all right, speaks all right, and that's it. That's Reggie. Do you think that's a good way to determine if somebody is cuckoo upstairs or not?
Well, I just looked to see if there's actually a hole in Antarctica, and it says yes, there's an ozone hole over Antarctica that forms every year. It does say that it's caused by human chemicals and things like that, but I think it's a reoccurring. Well, obviously, it's a reoccurring thing, but he's making it seem like it's something that just recently happened, and just because he's saying that, a
Mm,
2 second Google search, you can look that up.
mm,
So that doesn't mean that he's a factual person.
wow. Thank you for doing that, Reggie. Oh wow. Okay. So
And they're a racist, they're a sexist, they're crazy. You look at this guy, you go, okay, this is a Japanese man. He sounds very intelligent. He's none of those things. It wouldn't make sense for a Japanese guy just to be randomly racist towards an Indian woman. Okay. And I can now tell you a little bit about his background. Shimatsu is about as intelligent and as accomplished as he sounds. He is the former editor of the Japan Times. If you're not familiar with the Japan Times, it is the largest and the oldest English newspaper in Japan. And he received his master's in journalism from Berkeley University. Yes. the old stomping grounds of Kamala's mother and Kamala's father, who he claims to know. He claims to know the mother. He claims to have run the same circles as her. Now, as I was reading his piece, the hatred that he feels for Kamala Harris and her family is palpable. And he offers a reason for that hatred. He claims that it's because he mentored someone named Jeff Adaki, who was involved in San Francisco politics. And indeed, he was. Jeff Adaki was mysteriously murdered. This is according to him. You look it up. The story is incredible. He was a lawyer, he was a public defender, and he was also a San Francisco mayoral candidate who died in some unbelievably suspicious circumstances after having made enemies with the San Francisco political establishment. The establishment was after him, making statements against him. He was coming after their pensions. He had amassed a lot of power. People liked him. And one such person, by the way, who was opposed to him and ran a candidate against him was Willie Brown. Yeah, Willie Brown, the one that Kamala, the married man that Kamala had an affair with, that gave her political comeuppance. And so, yeah, you look into that Jeff Adaki story about how he died and how before he died, he was saying that the.
So just because Kamala, who they say, and listen, I'm not going. I'm not going to correlate it if it's true or not. Now they say that Kamala's a hoe now, right?
Okay,
so this is my point. So if that's true, you mean to tell me you think that she got something to do with this just because you just named one person she fucked? She's a hoe, remember?
This is reaching. This lady is when you say reaching.
I mean, like from here to across the street. This ain't even her husband. This is just a dude that she wants to keep on the low. If you're saying she had an affair with him, right?
An affair.
So why would she get that invested in this shit that don't got nothing to do with her? Now, if it's her husband, her baby dad, or something like that, her family, then yeah. But just because she smashing them,
God damn it! This lady, look,
that's too far.
Listen, the reach, okay.
Reaching.
Medical examiner was corrupt, and then that medical examiner was the same one who conducted an autopsy on his dead body, and then that autopsy result was reversed. I mean, it is as shady as it gets, just a true California, San Francisco scandal. So this author was the mentor to this man, and he still believes that he was murdered. And I will let you guys decide. We're going to park that aside for a moment because Shamazi makes another stunning claim right at the top of his piece that caught my attention. I'm going to read it to you verbatim. This is what he wrote in the essay. He wrote, about a decade ago, I was scanning the society page with a photo of Kamala Harris's marriage to a wealthy Canadian-British businessman. My personal dislike of her, since my sojourn in San Francisco, followed by the mysterious murder of Jeff Adaki, I was something of his mentor to the evil brew of San Francisco Democrat politics, made me want to vomit on seeing her overjoyed smile, arm in arm with a British subject, conferring on her 2 added citizenships, Brit and Canadian, atop of her American passport and maybe even Indian residency papers. She's a worldly woman indeed, and in action. Like so much for personal record, her marriage to the Canuck has since been scrubbed from the record as if it never happened. That's very convenient.
Okay. So here's somebody who loathes. He loathes Kamala for whatever reason. He's reading a book, reading an article. Trust our auntie to go and jump on that, to go and find some information. Right? Look at what the man has to say. Asking about her passport, maybe even India residency paper. You don't know that. Maybe she's got India and even if she does, what business of yours is it? She's a worldly woman indeed, and in action. Like so much of her personal record, her marriage to the Canuck has since been scrubbed from the record as if it has never happened. Guys, put a pin on that, please, okay? So here talking about the marriage to Canuck. That's very convenient for her run for the presidency, which disallows foreign citizens to hold the highest position in American governance. Oh, yes, did I ever mention that Kamala is a cheater in more ways than one?
Listen. It don't make no difference because she was born here. You have to listen to be the president of the United States. You have to be. The rule is you have to be born on American
soil. Right.
She was born here. That's the end of that conversation. Now, as far as the person that's saying she's bringing receipts, right, Chris, she's confusing you. She's fast talking you. Is she bringing receipts for certain things? Yes. But she's not bringing receipts for the claims that she's making. What she does is she's putting a little bit of truth into shit and mixing it with lies, and she's reaching. If everything that last part is true about the passport and all that shit, that don't got nothing to do with anything.
Nothing.
Nothing. Listen to
Nothing.
what she's saying. You got to follow her closely because she's smart.
Convenient for her, run for the presidency, which disallows foreign citizens to hold the highest position in American governance. Oh, yes, did I ever mention that Kamala's a cheater in more ways than one? Okay, so I'm looking at this guy. He seems to have a pretty good memory. He definitely has a record, which I would say makes him a legitimate person. Like I said, as an editor to the Japan Times, this is not some kooky, crazy person. Now we know that he did, in fact, run the same circles as her, the same circles as potentially her mother. And he is recalling with tremendous detail a photo of her having married some Canadian British guy that he says has since been scrubbed from the internet. My instinct just right away went, I think this man is telling the truth. He has, you can tell, like I said, contempt for her. He can tell as you read his piece that he believes that she is involved, and just like her mother was, in the higher echelons of the government, involved with the feds who are able to sort of disappear
What?
these sorts of things.
Can you stop?
My
Can you stop?
instinct
Stop!
just
Stop!
says,
Stop! Stop!
Candace,
Stop! Stop!
you
Can
should
you
look in.
stop? Can you stop? Can you stop?
Ooh-wee.
She just said he believes that she's involved with the upper echelons of
Echelons.
the government.
Yes.
Do
That
you
make documents disappear.
listen? Do you realize she's the vice president of the fucking United States? She's at worst the third or fourth most powerful person in the world.
Hmm.
It don't get no higher than that. So that don't make no sense. You are contradicting yourself. She's up there. She's more than likely she's going to be the president of the United States. Right? So there's no reason to do all that shit. There's no reason. That don't
There's
make
none.
sense.
There's none. There's no reason. It's just,
What is her problem exactly? Like,
sorry?
she seems to have like a problem, like a real problem.
And I want you all to not forget, Candace is a Christian. Do
That's
not
what it
forget
is.
that.
That's what it is.
She's a Christian. She's a Christian. This one. So, all right, let's continue.
Into this, because by the way, just even the backstory, the idea that this woman never got married at all until she met Doug Emhoff, who swept her off her feet in 2014 when she was 49 or 50 years old, questionable. But of course, then you go, why would she hide her marriage? Like, no one really cares if you're previously married anymore. Nobody really holds, people who are not Christians, I would say, don't really hold the sacrament of marriage. It's not important. People get divorced all the time. Why hide this?
Okay.
Why hide a marriage? There would have to be something very big about her spouse that she wouldn't want us to know.
Shut up.
Maybe who he is. Maybe, like he suggests, it's because he's not a citizen, or there's something about her citizenship that's a question mark. Like I said, I don't know, but I'm curious it has my attention. So I decided to actually run.
Please stop. Please stop. Please
I
stop.
don't know if Reggie will be able to go through this video.
She's not making sense again. You know why she's not
It's
making sense?
not.
You know why? You know why she's not making sense?
Go on.
Name one of Donald Trump's wives that's an American citizen.
Reggie.
Name one.
Do you know what? I wish everybody sat down to think. Like all the points Reggie is bringing up are really valid points. Then you'll get people who won't even use their critical thinking skills or even their basic thinking skills to question what this woman is saying.
His current wife, Donald Trump. His current wife. Where's she from? His current wife.
Man, she probably got 4 or 5 different types of citizenship at this point.
So, Candace, come on.
Wasn't she a porn star?
Hypocrisy. Huh? Sorry?
Yeah.
Trump's wife, wasn't she a porn star or something?
Uh-huh.
Was she a porn star?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was a porn star.
Mm-hmm. I done seen her whole
round. She was wearing like red lingerie.
Wait, hold on. She was a porn star.
Mm-hmm. I done seen her whole butthole.
Oh my gosh, Reggie! I just saw her wearing red lingerie and posing. So I maybe want to quickly Google that because I want to see too.
She built like a 7-year-old boy with some implants. Mm-hmm. She sure is.
Wait, Trump is married to an ex porn star.
Mm-hmm.
No, make it make sense. Wow.
her name and see if there was ever, maybe there's more than one previous marriage. Who knows? I actually never even thought to take this angle, and I decided to look into it to see if I could find any hits on a marriage between Kamala and somebody else. And I did come across something very interesting. Now, I want you to take this with a grain of salt.
Okay.
There could, of course, be another Kamala Devi Harris who resided in California. But we did come across a Kamala Devi Harris who applied for a marriage certificate on April 29th of 1984. So our Kamala would have been 20 years old. I'm going to show you that document. You'll notice that it is blurred. It's intentionally blurred because you have to purchase it, which we have. So you guys don't have to go out and do that. Essentially, you have to purchase it and then they deliver it electronically within 24 hours. We did that this morning because it was closed yesterday. What it shows us is a marriage between a Kamala D. Harris and a Philip J. Henderson, which took place in Reno, Nevada. What we know from this document thus far is that the Kamala that is listed, Kamala D. Harris, was a resident of California, and that her husband's residence is listed as in Michigan. That is literally all we know, okay? Like I said, there could be a circumstance where there just is another Kamala D. Harris who was living in California and got married. And so what I'm going to do at this point, as we await more information, is to just offer it up to the public. What I want you to do, again, you don't need to purchase this document, but somebody out there knows something. Somebody saved a newspaper clipping. I know grandmas be cutting out newspaper clippings, putting it on. Nobody knows why they're constantly cutting out newspaper clippings and saving it and tacking it along. Somebody will recall exactly what it is that Yoichi is saying he recalls, that she was married to a Canadian. Maybe somebody still has that newspaper clipping. More details. Again, maybe there was a marriage that took place in Canada and you guys are able to go through the documents in Canada to see that if you can find something. You can just check wherever it is that you live. Like I said, this has caught my interest. I believe there is something there. Like I said, Kamala D. Harris is not the most popular name in the entire world. And I also found something very strange that when I was looking this up, somebody had intentionally tried to blend, to confuse matters, that Kamala D. Harris with a Kamela, which is spelled with an E, Kamela Harris, who was living and is still alive, lived her entire life in Washington. They intentionally tried to blend the records to confuse it. I thought that was very strange. Like I said, we know nothing yet. We are asking for the public. If you know anything, remember anything, recall anything, if you are Canadian and you recall something, if you're American and you know something or saw something or remember the same thing he remembers, message.
This is crazy. So this one sits in her studio wanting to discredit this woman, right? Says, go and check. Somebody must know something. Someone must go and check your grandma's articles. Go and check your, some people are trying to merge documents. Some people are trying to do. What is your business? How does it concern you? This kind of hate, this kind of whatever this is, I'm telling you, it's evil. This is evil.
It's buck-coonery.
This is evil. Because the person does not share the same political ideas, because they don't share the same religious ideas, or whatever this is. You will go out of your way to prove that this woman is whatever she's trying to do here. Oh, the pics are still on the net. Oh, I need to go and find. I need to go check those pictures out.
Send us an email, rather, at info@CandaceOwens.com.
Of course.
In the meantime, we have reached out. We were able to get his email. We have reached out to Yoichi Shimatsu, and we are hopeful that we will hear more. We'll take a brief pause here to remind you guys about Good Ranchers. You know that we absolutely love them here on the show. You guys do not have to wait for election day to make your voice count. You can do it every day through the choices that you make. And when you choose to buy your meat from goodranchers.com, you are choosing to support local farms in the USA, and you're standing up for transparency and safety in our food supply. Good Ranchers partners exclusively with American farms, provide you with pasture-raised beef, chicken, pork, and wild-caught seafood that you can trust, so you can support local ranchers.
I'm sorry, this was funny to me. You talk all that big talk, right? Well, here you are. It's like she just quit. To me, when I was listening to this earlier on, it's like she just entered into the market very quickly. Here, come and buy your chicken. Come and buy your pork. Come and buy your. Right? I know she's advertising, but my goodness. I mean, what do you guys think about this? Now she's advertising chicken and pork and all.
She's weird.
She got to pay the bills.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what her husband does. I think they said they got 3 children, right? So yes, bills have to be paid. Those holidays need to pay themselves. My goodness, they need to pay for themselves. So if we must
Why
sell,
isn't she
if we
being
must
sued?
advertise chicken, we will advertise chicken. We must advertise pork. We will advertise pork.
Why
Shout out to all our
are they suing
sponsors
her?
too. Everybody
Yes,
watching at home.
right. I don't have any sponsors, but I mean,
Yes, you
I'm not
do.
opposed to sponsors. Huh?
Yes, you do. By likes
I
and
do
views.
actually. I do. I do. You know, no, I do have sponsors. Let me take that back and I apologize. I do have a few members who have joined my membership. So thank you, my sponsors. These are my sponsors. What I meant by I don't have sponsors is like, an official sort of arrangement where you promote us and none of that sort of thing. Right. Interesting.
Why
Okay.
isn't Kamala suing her?
Um, Sometimes you need to let people dig the hole for themselves. You need to, this is an active digging of a hole, right? Sometimes you have to just let them carry on
That's,
until she will step her foot in a place where hardcore evidence, she can't take it back and she might be done for defamation.
well, it's not too late, and I'm sure that right at this particular moment, Kamala probably has actually like better things to do, and she's probably not aware, 100% aware of this whole statement that she's saying because um the election is less than a month away, so she's probably not even really focused on it. But I'm gonna say something. This is what a lot of people's problem with Kamala is. I've heard different things, but
Right.
I think because more than anything, she's quote unquote a modern American woman, and I think a lot of people they can't they can't take that. They don't like the fact
Mm.
that she doesn't have children. Um, she is married. She's not overly churchy. I believe she's probably is a Christian. I'm not sure. But she's not overly religious. She speaks her mind. She's not trying to be something she's not. She's not trying to speak what we call preppy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she still shows love to where she's from. She speaks about Oakland a lot. Um,
Reggie, she may not be president, but she has an office that every man would die for.
right. She's fine too. She's getting up
She
there.
is.
She's aging.
She is.
She's aging, but she's still pretty. And I remember I've seen pictures of her when she was in her 30s. She was real fine. Her and her sister. But I think that people have problem with that. She's been pretty much a single woman most of her career. That's what she's a hoe and all this shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So fucking
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
As an adult, you can have sex with whoever you want. Like
Exactly.
that's the thing about religion. It just it wants
Conservative
yes,
people. Then.
it wants to control your genitalia so
Mm,
bad. Why do we even care anything about this? Like Bill Clinton, okay, when he was in office, he got his dick sucked. So what? So what?
don't say so what, but Reggie now
Now,
he was married. No, so
listen, he was wrong on that. He was wrong on that
I
aspect of
did
things.
not.
And he
I
probably
did not
he
have
he
sex
probably
with that woman.
he probably should have got divorced or lost whatever he lost because of
Yes,
that.
yes.
But just because this woman decided in her life that she wanted to be single, be free, and have whoever she wanted to have, why is that a problem? Why do we care? It has nothing to do
Mm,
with it. Makes no sense.
okay, so Denisha, why the tears? Not Candace Owens. Yes, Candace Owens. Yes, her. We need to talk about her. Right. Um, right, let's see.
and ensure that you receive high quality American raised meat with no antibiotics and no added hormones. Right now, Good Ranchers is running their presidential promo. For a limited time, you can get a free add-on for 4 years until the next presidential election. That means you subscribe to any of their boxes and you'll get to decide if you want free chicken breast, Angus ground beef, Applewood smoked bacon, or wild caught salmon in every order for 4 years. So do not miss out. Use my code Candace at goodranchers.com to claim this presidential promo worth up to $1,200 and bring 100% American meat to your family meals through 2028. That's promo code Candace at
100% American
goodranchers.com.
meat.
All right, guys, let's get into some stories. So Barack
From
Obama is
animals
back
that are not
making rounds.
native
Okay.
to here.
He says that black men should
Hmm?
She talking about animals that's not even fucking from here. That's not even native to here. Cows, pigs, all that shit. None of them animals is even native to here.
Mm-hmm. No, them American. American, Reggie. American meat. American chicken breast. American. Right.
They're not even from here. That shit is imported here.
Well, mhm. When Candace says it's American, it is American. Right. NJ, what's it? NJ, what are you saying? NJ says, I don't see your comments. Oh, my problem is I don't like the plan that Kamala is willing to claim. What does that mean? What does that mean, NJ? I wish. Okay. So let's
my
carry
code
on.
Candace at goodranchers.com to claim this
Okay.
presidential
I
promo
took it back
worth up to
slightly.
$1,200 and bring
Reggie and
100%
Vessel,
American
listen.
meat to your family meals through
Please
2028.
listen.
That's promo
The
code Candace at
vitriol.
goodranchers.com.
This lady.
All right, guys, let's get into some stories. So Barack Obama is back making the rounds. Okay. He says that black men should be voting for Kamala Harris. And I just think that I have a lot to say about this. I think that it's time. It is time, Black America. It is time for us to revisit Barack Obama in general. And I know, okay, it's a sensitive subject. I know this is one of those things where me, the messenger, is definitely going to get shot because none of us were awake back in 2008. So when people were pointing out some oddities about Barack Obama, right, everyone was quick to go, oh, that's because of racism. Like, that's like, come on, this is absolutely happening because you just don't like him because he's black. And I count myself among them. I have to always remind you guys, like, I was a liberal or left-leaning. I never
You
actually voted
were
for Democrats,
black,
but I, too,
but
thought
you
that
aren't
anybody that was saying
anymore.
anything about him was racially motivated. I cried the night that Barack Obama won. But I want to be clear. I've grown up since. I've got 3 kids now. I'm married. I'm seeing the world through a different way. I realize what the media
Yeah, through
is, and I
your white
realize
husband's
how
eyes.
they really do think that black people are stupid. And in the retrospect, there were definitely some very weird things about Barack Obama. For example, and this is just a fact, back in 1991, when Barack Obama was completely unknown to the public, he was working with a literary agency that was named Acton and Distal, okay? They were tasked with promoting his first book, which was a book that was meant to be entitled Journeys in Black and White, which actually never wound up being published. But in anticipation of his book being published, they were promoting Barack Obama and other authors that were on their roster. And they promoted them in a booklet, which they distributed to people in the publishing industry, like, hey, here are our authors that we want you to publish. And in the booklet, they included a biography of all of their clients. And this is a biography that they included of Barack Obama. Okay, take a look here. It says, this is real, 100% real. Barack Obama, the first African-American president of the Harvard Law
That's a
Review,
lie.
was born in Kenya and raised in Indonesia and Hawaii. The son of an American anthropologist and a Kenyan finance minister, he attended Columbia University and worked as a financial journalist and editor for Business International Corporation. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the whole concept of, like I said, it's 100% legit. The whole concept of whether or not he was born in Kenya was not coming out of racist ideas, right? It wasn't because people were just trying to delegitimize him. It was because he had a literary agent, and that literary agent published a pamphlet, and that pamphlet said that he was born in Kenya. And then suddenly that changed, and they were like, no, never mind. He was born in the USA. That person who published this never gave an answer for why they wrote that. They tried to say, like, oh, like that maybe the literary agency just wrote that. Why would anybody just write that you're born in Kenya? It's like a weird thing to write.
Anybody can write anything. I don't know how you can sit there and say that, and yet you read that Bible. Huh? You read that idiotic book, the Bible, and you sit here and say, oh, I don't know how anybody can write anything. Go read your Bible.
Can you disprove his birth certificate? If you can't disprove his birth certificate, you might as well shut the fuck up. You can't disprove his birth certificate. If you can't disprove it, you might as well shut the fuck up. Listen, we're talking about the United States, a country that was founded, dedicated, and literally built off of black slaves, right? We're still looked at as second, third, and fourth class citizen. Do you really think, Candace Owens, if there was any validity to what you just read, do you think that they would have ever let him become the president of the United States? No. This is old news. This is a story that was made up almost 20 years ago from Donald Trump, right? That was disproven then. It was disproven. So I don't see why we're still doing this. You can't push reset and rewind on his presidency. So even if what you're saying is true, bitch, it's too late.
This woman has
Okay,
issues.
doesn't matter in the scheme of things. He was already president for 8 years, but it's good.
Yes, she does, Vessel.
Sorry. Were you trying to say something?
No, I just said that she's got issues.
She does have issues. She's going to go on about Barack. Oh, that's so pathetic.
Good to go back on that. And then, of course, there was this other odd thing that happened. Like, he did, by the way, grow up in Indonesia. That's a fact, right? He, like, the first 8 years of his life were spent in Indonesia. His mother.
See, all of this, what she's trying to say about Barack, is leading somewhere. All these little points here and there is leading somewhere. And I don't think that it gave what she thought it was going to give. It
But
didn't make sense to me.
if what she's saying he is true, let I'm gonna give her that. Let's say it's true. I don't know nothing about that. That's the first time I've ever heard it. Let's say that's true. If he was born on any island of Hawaii, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. So who cares?
Mother moved him to Indonesia, and he went by a totally different name. He went by the name Barry Soetoro. Here's an old clip of journalist Matt Meager from Inside Edition revealing that truth. Just so you know, these were not conspiracies. Okay, take a listen.
As Senator Barack Obama has made his run for president, some have questioned his background, particularly the 4 years he spent as a child in Indonesia. He was educated in 2 schools, first a Catholic school and then later a public school. Mevahar traveled to Indonesia to take you to both of the schools the candidate attended.
This is the Assisi Catholic Grammar School in Jakarta, Indonesia. And Barack Obama is on his way to becoming its most famous former student.
Barack Obama.
The only record of Obama having attended the school is this old register. And look, it lists his name as Barry Soetoro. That's the name Obama took from his Indonesian stepfather, Lolo Soetoro.
Okay, so whatever
What
you
does
make of
that
this,
prove?
what we know is that Barack Obama was, first and foremost, right after she gave birth, his white mother is the person that raised him, okay? Her name is Stanley Dunham. There she is, right there. That is Stanley Dunham. Okay, he never lied about this. He did not grow up in a household with his Kenyan father at all, Barack Obama Sr., whatever.
So
He was raised by
what?
his mother, Stanley Dunham, and then she married a person who worked for the Indonesian government as a geographer. She married Lolo Soetoro, and Barry Soetoro was born. He then moved to Indonesia. He went to school in Indonesia, and then he gets sent back to Hawaii at the age of 10. So for the first 10 years of his life, I'm just going, okay, like he was not exposed to Black people at all. He was exposed to Indonesians,
So
and then he
what?
gets sent to Hawaii to get raised by his exceedingly white grandparents. Here's a picture of his
Oh,
grandparents. That's
goodness
Madeline
gracious.
Dunham and Stanley Dunham, the person whose mother has the name of her father. So then, yeah, he is in Hawaii as well. And in case you didn't know this, he was extraordinarily wealthy. You probably could figure that out by all this moving around. That's why while he was in Hawaii, he was enrolled
So
in a private
what?
school. He attended the Punahou School, where tuition is for grades K through 12. Tuition is $31,000 per year. That's today.
It
So you can
wasn't
count
when he
inflation,
went to
okay?
school.
So
Stop,
that's
just
where his
stop,
grandparents enrolled him.
stop,
Okay. So it's
stop.
important
Keep
to
it
note
stop.
also.
It wasn't 31,000 when he went to school, bitch.
She just said it. She just said it. That's the amount now. This lady is crazy. Reggie, can you imagine being married to somebody like this?
Well, it depends on which way you look at it. Look at her husband.
True. True.
So
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, there's a lot I can say about that, but you know, one thing I wouldn't want to do is just make assumptions. Like a lot of what she does is make assumptions, assume things about people, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's one thing to not like somebody, but then to go out of your way to creates these, grandiose stories and claims about someone. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And it doesn't
Oh,
prove
that
it doesn't prove anything. It does not
No,
prove anything. It does not prove anything. You can't disprove who his father is. You cannot prove that his father is not an African. You can't.
but
You're not
Reggie,
even going to try that. And you
hold on,
cannot
let's
disprove
stop
that he
here.
was born on Hawaii. You can't.
But Reggie, all this what she's talking about, Barack, these were the times in his life when he didn't have control over what was going on around him, right? His parents made the decision, his mom did, and so what? He was still a child.
So look, if you think about what she's saying about Obama, she's contradicting what she's saying
Kamala.
about Kamala, because she's like, oh well, he was wealthy, he wasn't around, blah 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 blah. Okay, so why don't you keep that same energy with Kamala? She's from
Mhm.
Oakland.
Mhm.
She's
Mhm.
from Oakland.
Mhm.
Let's talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to
Mm.
talk about that because look, in Oakland, even still to this day, there's nothing but black people and Mexicans there. So what you talking about?
Right. And this is why I needed you for this conversation because I don't know. I don't know that information.
They call it Chocolate City.
Really.
Yeah.
Oakland. Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
1970, when Barry Obama got to Hawaii, there were only 5,925 Black people in all of Hawaii. Okay. And it's worth noting that 80% of those, north of 80% of those 5,000 Black people were in the military. He was not exposed to Black people at all. That's what I'm trying to make the point. Okay.
Okay.
He
Okay.
had literally not a single
That's
part of his
probably true.
upbringing was he around Black people.
Okay.
There were no students, no Black students at his very expensive private
Okay.
school.
Okay.
Okay,
So.
there's no Black people in Indonesia. And really, for those of you that haven't been to Hawaii, it's still like it has nothing to do with America. It feels like we just took Hawaii and we're like, yeah, you're America. When you go out there, you're like, okay, this is like its own thing entirely. They look more Asian than anything else, and they're kind of a little pissed off that we took them, if we're being completely honest about Hawaii now. So he went there. His mother went to a school that the same one that his dad went to in Hawaii, the same one that his stepdad went into Hawaii. Really kind of feels like he was a part of some weird military program. And then after
Wait
that,
a minute.
after
Wait a
going
minute.
to
Wait
his
a minute. Wait a minute.
$31,000 per year private school in Hawaii, he goes to Oxford.
So his dad went to the same school as his mom. His dad went to school in Hawaii. And again, you're lying. You just sat here and said that $31,000 a year. That's not how much it was. And also, you need to keep that same energy with yourself because I know, Candace, that you weren't raised around a significant amount of black people. I know you weren't. I know you didn't go to.
Mm,
I know you
mm.
didn't go to an inner city school. I know that about
And
you.
she's married. How dare you though?
Who
You
she married?
Candace, how dare you? You're married to a white man.
Oh my goodness.
She
Wait,
just.
hold on. Let me pull up. Here she is trying to discredit the blackness of these two people. And the silly woman is married to a white man.
The
Wait, let
only
me
leg
see.
she got to stand on is that she's dark skinned. That's the only
Oh
leg she got to
man.
stand on.
Just stop. The guy is white and whiter than white. Hmm.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not. Listen. I don't have any issue with
No,
interracial dating
no,
or
I don't.
marriages, so I'm not going. Speak on that. But I don't see how like the claims that she's making. She doesn't keep that same energy. She's moving the goalposts in every situation because again, the only leg she has to stand on with saying that them two aren't black or discrediting their blackness is because she's dark skinned and she's primarily mostly black. Like I told you before, Afro, most of us African Americans are mixed one way or the other. If you dig
Hmm.
deep, if you dig deep enough, we're mixed. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of us are different skin tones and things like that. But with Candace, you can tell that she's not directly mixed. One of her parents is not. It's one thing, and the other one is not. So that's the only reason why she's saying that shit. Because she's not from the hood. She's not from the inner city. So
Yep. Red Vessel, that's her husband.
Man.
Wait, have I lost concept? I don't know. I don't know why this is doing. Hold on. Something's
I'm
happening
not gonna
here.
remember.
Huh?
I'm not going to comment on him.
Sorry. No, 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 no. I mean, but for me, it's the audacity. It's the
Yeah.
audacity of you trying to discredit these people's blackness. But look at you.
She's
Look
just
at
a
you.
hypocrite, a big
Look at
hypocrite.
you.
Right. Because by
And
her
you know
sta
what she needs right now? All she needs is to open a church. That's all she needs right now. That's the only thing
Uh,
in life.
she converted to Catholicism. Catholic.
Mm-mm,
Converted to Catholicism.
mm-mm. She from the 12 tribes of Kunea. She from the Herschel Walker tribe.
Gee. All right. Let's go back to this video. Hmm.
Occidental University or college, whatever it is, in California for 2 years, where he roomed with a white guy for the first year, white guy with blonde hair. He's written about it for his freshman year, and then moved to live off campus in his sophomore year with a Pakistani for 1 year. His dorm mates have described him
Got a
as
pew room.
doing a mean Mick Jagger impression. Literally, I know I've heard the name Mick Jagger,
Mm.
but I had no idea that he was the lead singer of the Rolling Stones until today. I was today years old and I learned that. I'm just saying, I understand like people grew up in a household that listened to rock and roll. I didn't grow up in that household. MJ was not Mick Jagger for us. It was Michael Jackson. The whole reason we're doing this series is because somebody came for the Jacksons. That's the kind of household I grew up in. So then Barry Obama met and dated a woman in his sophomore year. Her name was Alexandra McNear. You might remember she's the one that released the letters that Barry wrote to her, where he talked about his homosexual feelings. Like he says, like he makes loves to men in his mind, and so he had like homosexual inklings. He then went to Columbia University and still dated Alexandra McNear and was writing her these letters at that time. Anyways, I'm just thinking like, what part of Barack Obama's life gave him the authority to tell Black men how to act Black in America? That's what I'm asking you. What part of his life? Was it Hawaii? Was it Indonesia? Was it Alexandra McNear? At what point did suddenly like Barry Soetoro become the person who gets to tell Black men how to act in America? Because that's exactly what he's doing now. That's exactly what he has been doing. Is just because like once you do a photo op with Jay-Z or Diddy, suddenly like you're just like handed an award and gone, okay, now you're Black. Now everybody in the Black community has to listen to you, because that's what it seems like. His history and his background is equally as shady as Kamala Harris's, if we aren't being
Shady.
frank. And they're bringing him out to essentially whip Black Americans into shape because, oh, they gave him the Black cards. Now Black people better just listen to Barack Obama. So here he is suddenly lamenting the fact that Black men just aren't energetic enough for Kamala Harris. Take a listen.
Is that
Sorry. So all of that she did, right? Going from his origins up to today, is he was recently at an event where there were black men. Right? This is the event, and he's talking to them and telling them, you know, why they should vote Kamala. How dare he speak to black men? He's not black enough to speak to black men. Reggie, 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 you're a
Uh,
black man. You're a black man in the U.S. Would you listen to Barack?
Absolutely. I told you earlier, offline, that if it
Yes,
wasn't for that, if it wasn't for that man, more than likely right now I wouldn't even be alive.
you said so.
Before he became president, I wasn't ever
Mm,
eligible to get health coverage since about 2012, 2013 or so. I've had health coverage. I used to have drug and alcohol problems, and if it wasn't for that health coverage, I would not have been able to go to rehab, and I wouldn't have been able to afford the medicine that I used to have to take after I got out for about 18 months. I used to have to get this shot called Vivitrol to stop my urges from drinking and shit, because I used to drink a lot, a lot. If it wasn't for that, um, I still would be the same way, possibly dead from drinking and driving, because I drunk and drive every day. Um, or God, no, well, I don't believe in God, but Scott Daddy knows what would have happened to me, you know?
mm,
So I can definitely say that I would listen to him. He's done things for me, besides the
mm,
fact that he changed laws that were made specifically to target black people. Released a lot of people from prison for drugs that were non-violent offenders that were getting 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. for drug offenses and things like that. So I would definitely listen to him. Why would you listen to Trump when he's openly racist? He's openly racist. It's not like he's
Mm.
hiding.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
last night, I was on Vessels Live, and unfortunately, it got shut down. I think her phone had died. But I was debating with these gentlemen, and they were kind of trying to say that he never did X, Y, Z, and that's the point I was trying to make to them. And their whole stance was, oh well, if there's a candidate that that doesn't have flaws and all this other stuff, I'm like, why would you vote for a person that is literally telling you he does not like you? He's
Mm.
telling you you're from a shithole country. He done put
Mm-mm.
sanctions
Mm-mm.
so you cannot come here because he doesn't like you, and you still will vote for him. It's crazy. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, let's continue.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
Just wanted to say, Candace, like it or not, one thing you cannot take away from this man, he was the president of the United States 2 terms. You can't look discredit. She said his past was shady. Discredit his past. Discredit. You cannot
You
take
can't.
that away from him. If this lady could take it away, she would, right?
Right.
She's
There's nothing you
crazy.
can stick to him. You can't say he did this. You don't got no scandals he was involved in.
Nothing.
None of that shit.
Nothing.
You can't get nothing on him.
Nothing. Nothing. Crazy.
Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
The
So
brothers.
if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He said to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
I'm sorry, Barry Toro, but you are going to have to sit your ass down. I got somebody. I got to tell him right now. That's it. Barry has to sit his ass down. This is like she understands the struggle no more than you understand the struggle. Both of you, okay? How does this work? Again,
Both
Barack
of you what?
Obama was raised by 3 extraordinarily wealthy white adults. There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he is not genetically black. He has been honest with the fact that he didn't know his dad, okay? His dad died, I think, when he was in college at some point. He never was raised by him, was never raised around black people ever. That's fine. But why are you speaking to the brothers? Like, when did it become the brothers? What is this? How do 3?
He's speaking to them. He didn't get there because he just felt like he woke up one morning and decided, off I go to go and speak to the brothers. Candace, he was clearly invited there. He means something to those people. These people wanted to hear him speak to them. They give him maximum respect. Look at them standing in a circle, standing there and listening to every word he's saying. Candace, come on.
Then she was about to say both of you. Then she switched it back to him, right? Because
No,
again,
she's going to go on and talk about both of them.
you can't say that she had a privileged life. And if you do say it, it's because it's the position she put herself in. She was raised by a single fucking parent.
And do you know what?
Come on, my dove.
This woman is just vile.
She's vile.
Is vile, and I don't think her husband loves her, because if her husband loved her, he wouldn't allow her to do all this shit.
Maybe he doesn't understand what she does. I don't know. Because
Yes, he
how would
do.
you?
Yes, he
Reggie, do you
does.
think this is where they'd say, well, it's making us the money? But she is getting
Yeah,
views. She is getting views. She
of course.
gets, okay, let's see how many this video's gotten now. Listen, this is 778,000 views streamed only yesterday.
Well, she's bringing in the money.
She is she is
So
bringing in the money.
a Jerry Eze style private jet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would be scared to have one of those, truthfully.
One of what?
No matter how rich I got, I would be scared to have a private jet because I would want my stuff to get regulated by the whatever the agency is. I would want to, that shit. After I seen what happened to Kobe Bryant,
Mm,
yeah, I think I'd rather fly commercial.
right, right. Okay.
White people raise a strong black brother? I want to know. Is it like grandma and granddad
Come
Dunham raised him to be a
on.
strong black man, just like Kamala's Indian mother raised her to be a strong Indian woman or something? Like what's actually happening right now? This is so insulting. And I'm the
I don't know about this black. We're separating people, right? This is where we're trying to say, oh, because he was raised by white people, so he cannot identify with the black struggle. He grew up with that skin. He would have had his own black struggles. Don't
Right.
try to take that away from the man.
He would have
Come
had
on.
he would have had some struggles that I don't even really understand. She do. She
Exactly.
does. She understands his struggles. Can you listen? Can you imagine how many times that man and her, especially him though, been called the N word?
Can you imagine? I can imagine. Well, I can't begin to imagine, but my goodness. And Reggie, it would be worse for somebody who grew up in the white neighborhood, right? Around white people, because you would stick out like a sore thumb. You would
Exactly.
just be ding 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 ding.
And
There's
then with
nowhere
him,
to hide.
who's he gonna go cry to? He don't even have no black family to even like comfort him.
Nobody.
Nobody. Some Africans he's never met before. Way on the other side of the world.
I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying?
Reggie,
So it's like it's just crazy. Like she don't make sense.
and you know something, Reggie, this is one of the actually good videos. This this has really got Reggie very you know very talkative tonight. I like that. But let me tell you, this is not one of the ones where there are other. She has landed herself in a few uh problems because of this big mouth of hers.
As she should, but it's just like, what side are you on? Like, and please don't let me forget to show the proof I have on her that she is lying. See, that's
Okay,
what one
okay.
thing I like about Umar Johnson. Even though I'm
Oh,
not
please
the
no,
biggest fan of him,
Reggie, don't
I
do
got
it. Mm,
I got to take one saying from him.
no,
This is what he says, and this is a fact. The Negro is ignorant and doesn't know any better. The,
including
the
him.
right, the coon knows better. She knows better. She's the coon, and the reason why is because again, it's happened to her before.
So the Negro is ignorant, but the Kun knows better.
Hmm. The coon knows, and that's what she is. And you know how I know she knows?
Umar Johnson. There.
When she spoke on the Israel situation and she got deemed
Oh,
anti-Semitic, your eyes is open, and the fact that you've been a target of racial discrimination. So you definitely
mm,
know. You definitely are the coon.
right. I say, girl, you need to sit your ass down somewhere. You tell her. You tell her. I mean, look at her.
most insulted by this, by the way, because I have dealt with years, the black community telling me that I'm not black because I voted for Trump. Like, you're not black because you're a Republican. Why? Because I see through this stupid BS, this dumb game of thinking you can whip black Americans with some hip hop music, with a Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage, with Jay-Z and Beyonce marching at a BLM
Stop.
protest and
Can
suddenly,
you push stop? Can you push
woo,
stop? Can you push
LeBron.
stop? Can you push stop? That's exactly what he's doing. Okay, so what did Trump do the last time he lost? Right before he lost, right? He pardoned Lil Wayne, and he pardoned what's the kid from Miami? What's his name? What's his name? Kodak Black. So he's literally trying to get black votes by
Mm-hmm.
pardoning hip hop stars that are convicted felons, so they won't go to prison. So what are you talking about?
Anti-rockers.
LeBron James sending out a tweet like that's literally supposed to motivate me to vote because I can see through the BS. I look up these people's background. I'm going, what about you is culturally black? Barack Obama is not
So,
culturally black. I'm sorry. It's time for us to accept.
wait, hold on, Reggie. So when you're going to vote for somebody, when do you pull up their manifesto? When do you look at what their goal is for the country, right? But here we are looking at how black they are, how they
He,
relate to blackness.
but
I
again,
guess because it's America. Okay, I
she's
understand the
contradicting herself.
American. Oh, this is
She's
crazy.
contradicting herself, right? Because you could, okay, so if you're saying on one hand Barack Obama is not culturally black,
Mm-hmm.
he's ethnically black, right? But you can't say that Kamala is not ethnically black because the same she grew up in the hood around all black people. So you can't play both sides of the fence. That doesn't make sense.
This lady is just. Mm.
Accept that. Like I said, I was moved by him too in 2008. I thought, oh, okay, like I really didn't understand his background. And I questioned people who questioned him. But we have to just come to terms with the fact that we have been being played by Democrats for a very long time. And the reality is he is
How?
just as shady in terms of his background as Kamala Harris. I am a firm believer that they are breeding politicians. His background is almost too similar to Kamala Harris's in
What?
terms of literally no relation to the black community, having so much wealth, and then as if they went through a school of what it is exactly that they should say to relate to the brothers, to relate to the brothers, to
She
relate to the
has no
sisters.
wealth.
Oh, a little bit of Cardi B. I
Huh?
can't.
Sorry?
She has no wealth, and she does not come from wealth. Even though her mom made, Kamala has no wealth. Like in the same sense that she was saying about Obama. And if she
Yeah.
does, again, it's because she obtained it on her own.
Yeah. This one should be celebrating Harris. Should be celebrating her. She's one out of, you know, that's one woman that never mind. I mean, I guess for everybody's different. But that's one woman that we should be celebrating, right? She has come. Uh, she's taken up a position that people never thought was possible. People never saw the day when there will be a black president, and now there is a chance that there will be a female, quote unquote, black president.
So
You know
I looked up her net worth right now. She's only worth $8 million right now.
who Kamala?
Hmm.
Hmm. That's. I mean, that's impressive.
It is impressive, but what I'm saying is you can't pretend like she's super de duper rich. You know what I mean?
No,
And
no,
again,
not in the.
she's had a great job. She's made a great career for herself. She's been in the limelight for years. So I just don't see what the fuck she is talking about. You lying.
How much is Candace Owens worth?
Let's see. I'm gonna look that up.
Okay, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done with this. And I am actually very happy that black men seem to be taking a larger leap away from this. I hope
Really?
that black women will follow suit and recognize this to see how ridiculous it is that a woman who was saying she's washing greens in a bathtub and a guy who's suddenly calling black people brothers, despite having literally no introduction to what it means to be culturally a black person in America. I hope that we all can become awakened. But I'm very grateful that black men seem to be holding the line. Like I am with that 100%. All right, guys, brief break here to remind you about American financing because today's economic environment is stressful for a lot of people. But with the Fed finally dropping interest,
Please.
the person that she says that she is, of course, it means that she must do the honorary stop to Power 105's Breakfast Club. Now, in case you're not familiar with this, the Breakfast Club has always been a mandatory stop for politicians to appeal to black people, particularly Democrat politicians. I don't think they often have Republicans on. They did have Vivek Ramaswamy on, actually, but I don't remember them ever having Trump on. Anyways, you go by, and it just seems to be the case that Democrats just do most to get on here. This is the notorious stop when Hillary Clinton, at the height of the election cycle, said she had hot sauce in her bag because that was a part of Beyonce's song. I got hot sauce in my bag, swags. When they asked her, what is something you keep in your purse? She said hot sauce because Black people can relate, the brothers and the sisters in the struggle can relate to hot sauce and that, like whatever. She said that it was abhorrent and they kind of turned it into a joke, but it was not funny to me. And this is why she is now going to do the stop, because she has completely fumbled the bag. Kamala has just completely fumbled the bag by putting the greens in the bathtub. And Black America's not okay with it. They're not okay with it. It's very nasty.
We are
You
talking
can't
about,
speak for Black America.
but we are
You're not a
Reggie.
part of
We are
us.
talking, Reggie. We are talking. Look, Reggie, please think about someone like me from the outside looking in, right? Who grew up poor, really, really poor, right?
Hmm.
There were homes that didn't even have a bathtub, didn't have one. Not because they they just no money to get that sort of thing. That was too much of a luxury. People had outhouses where you go and do your business on a makeshift plan. We used to have this thing called a sock away, right?
Hmm.
Your toilet. When you do your business, it and you flush it, it leads into the sock away thing, right?
Hmm.
So every time that thing is full up, it drains into there. They have to get the van to come and literally suck out all the number twos, right? In that thing. And when it is full, you would know because it starts to leak out. And so they know it's time to go and call, right? So I'm sorry to go so far, guys, but she's talking about somebody washing vegetables in the bathtub.
But
Like
Afro,
that means
um, I've seen people in America wash hair at the kitchen sink.
yes,
Hmm.
I have.
You know,
Hmm.
when those hairstyle videos, whatever, they
Hmm.
wash hair in the kitchen sink, in the kitchen,
And
and
dry it
you
in the microwave.
Dry
and
was in the
then
microwave.
The hair.
What is Reggie saying now? Reggie, how can you say somebody's drying their hair in
My
the
mom
microwave?
was a beautician.
Wait, excuse me, you cannot dry your hair in the
maybe
microwave.
Okay.
a weave, Afro, maybe a weave or a wig. Um,
No, you can't put your head in the microwave,
Not
Reggie.
your head. This thing comes off of here. What she talking about.
no, but I'm talking about actual washing the hair on your head.
Oh,
And
I thought you were talking about they weaves. Like, oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah, with the
That too.
weave as well. Yeah, and then they'll put that in the microwave. But then the same place you're going to prep your chicken, you're going to, prep your vegetables. So what's the difference with the tub? Um,
Right.
in Africa, we had a sink outside the kitchen. It was made of
Exactly.
concrete, and this was an all-purpose sink. You wash clothes in there, you can wash dishes in there. If you got little babies, you can put them in there and wash them, right? That's not a big deal. She's just reaching, this woman. And
The reason why
she is
the
annoying big time.
Mm-hmm.
so so I don't know if y'all understand this or know this, but okay, so the reason why she part of the reason why she's saying that Black America is not having this is because um that is a food that is eaten in black homes, you know what I'm saying? So
Greens, yes.
I guess she's making a point to say like, why are you trying so hard to be black? I think that's her point because she's like, why is you washing greens in here? You trying so hard to be black that you washing greens in here and shit. So I really don't understand her point though, but she really can't make the claims that she's making because in every circumstance when it's time for her to be who she is or to appear black, she doesn't. Except for the time when she made the lawsuit for getting discriminated against and when she lost her job for being anti-Semitic.
Mm. And I don't know how true this is, but I hear that she recently lost monetization on YouTube because she's had to go on her own now. She now has this show, Candace, on a thing, right? She gets a lot of views, but those views will be worth nothing if you lose monetization. It will be worth nothing. So I don't know if she, but when you go and look, you can tell actually when, hold on, let me see. You can actually tell whether she's got monetization or not. Hold on. Just 1 second. Let's have a look at the comments in her stream. I'm trying to see why the comments not showing up. You can tell if people are donating or not. If they're giving her any money, you can tell. But
Yeah.
let's see.
And also with them greens, as we know, you gotta thoroughly wash them shits.
Yes, yes. So, what is wrong with washing greens in the bathtub? It's your bathtub.
Nothing.
Where? No,
Nothing.
this is where people you can tell that this one she wants to pick. It's the nitpicking, the nitpicking here. But one thing I would say is, look, Auntie Candace, you see, when you're doing it to other people, huh? You actually read that book that says you reap what you sow, huh? Auntie, you see these things you're busy sowing now, and this is why, this YouTube and the social media space is brilliant. Is because it's recorded. In the future, I'm telling you, it will come back to haunt you, Auntie. It will come back to haunt you. It will come back to haunt you. So be careful with all this your nitpick. Okay?
It's dirty, it's grimy. You just don't do that. You don't put your food where the skin is falling off of your body. Okay.
Don't think
So
she has
somebody reminded me that she had already been on Power 105 back in 2019 when she was running for president. And I cannot believe that I forgot to mention that interview because it's actually quite significant to
How
all of
many
our
times has
research.
she said
It's the
someone
only
has?
time. Remember, her father is
Huh?
notorious.
How many times has she said someone has? Someone has reminded me. Someone has sent me. Someone this. Someone that.
It's somebody, yeah.
Everything of hers is someone, something. There's nothing she's gone out to do by herself. It's always someone.
Listen, Reggie, I wish you would see the comments in the chat. I wish.
And hers.
If she does not realize that this is a slight on her as well, right? What she is promoting, they're talking about expose all candidacies, shrimp and grits, right? That's in reference to black people.
Yes, it is. No different than a green washing the greens in the tub thing. It's the same thing. Like I don't know if you ever heard years and years ago that Tiger Woods, he's a coon as well, um, was a victim of racial discrimination. They had some type of PGA tour, right? And there was some food there, and one of the other golfers was like, "Yeah, you got some collard greens over there for you," or
Mm,
something along those lines. So yeah,
see, someone says greens in the bathtub. Lol. Loud. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. See, okay, let's continue. He's nearly done this one.
Private, and he rarely speaks out, but it is the only time that he spoke out regarding her campaign, and he was angry and he spoke out against her after she said this. Take a listen.
So, and I know the answer to this too. They say you oppose legalizing it.
That's not true.
I know.
And look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
They be so mad at you.
Right. No, I do not. No.
So she was leaning into a Rastafarian stereotype. My family is from Jamaica, smoking pot, dreadlocks, and they're all laughing like, "Oh yeah,
When
that's
did
how
she
it is."
say that?
And her dad had a visceral reaction to this. Like Donald Harris was like, what the heck is this? He immediately issued an unsolicited public statement to Jamaican Global Online. Jamaican Global Online is also the same publication, online publication, that he published his piece in just a few months earlier. So he basically did a 180 and was like, no, what is this? He issued this statement. He wrote, my dear departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent essay on this website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker and in pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically dissociate ourselves from this travesty. That was a major clue that what we had uncovered about her alleged grandmother, Christiana Brown, and I don't believe Christiana Brown is that picture that we saw, is actually who Christiana Brown is. But remember, before I went away, I was telling you guys that they were massive supporters of a politician named Alexander Bustamante who called for the genocide of Rastafarians, okay? So if you wanted to genocide Rastafarians and then suddenly you see that she's leaning into a stereotype of Rastafarians, you would react in the way that he did. Okay, he reacted in a way that his grandmother raised him to. But I sense the connection is even stronger than he's letting on. You know, we've spoken about that, and we're going to dive back into Donald Harris and me sensing that the people who we have been given pictures of
my
are
goodness.
not in.
Something ministries wrote in the comments. When are you going to talk about Barack's wife? Yikes. Yikes.
The buffoonery is just ridiculous.
It's you should read the comments. Rick Mars says, come quick, Lord Jesus.
Fact, her grandparents, but are actually the help, and they've kind of replaced the pictures. I still believe that, and I think we have more evidence to prove that. Anyways, going back to Kamala, that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern today when she will join Power 105.1 to make a pitch to Black men, because it seems that they have completely lost Black men. And by the way, she's already making a pitch on Twitter. She wrote this: Black men deserve a president who cares about making their lives better. And then she offers some things, but I want to just go down to number 5 because it's amazing. This is what she's off. This is what's going to make Black lives better. Number 5 says, legalize recreational marijuana and create opportunities for Black Americans to succeed in this new industry. Yeah. You guys like pot? I smoke pot. Yeah, I'm Jamaican. I smoke pot. And like, I'm going to legalize pot and you guys can get involved in the pot industry. That's what you guys are into. It just makes me cringe. Charlemagne.
Cringe.
Charlemagne.
So, she's going about it the wrong way. What about legalizing it so people can get out of jail? Because one knock on her is this, right? Because I don't know if you know that she was a prosecutor at one point.
Yes, I do know that. Yes,
and people accuse her of locking Black people up for marijuana, and there's some truth to that. But is she going to go into a case and look at it like, oh, this is a Black person, I should let him slide because if I don't, I ain't Black? No, there's no different than when you play baseball. If I'm Barry Bonds, right? Say I'm Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron. I don't give a fuck who the pitcher is. You throw a fastball, it's a home run.
Yeah.
Do you want her to be a good prosecutor or do you want her to be a bad prosecutor? It is not her fault the way that the laws were written. Her job was to convict people, nothing else, right? So you can't make that claim. But now, on the other hand, oh, I'm Jamaican, let's smoke some pot. Coon Candace, which one is it?
I know.
You're not making sense to me right now.
Cringe. She says it's cringy. Cringe.
The God absolutely must ask her to clearly spell out who in her family is Black. It's so easy. It's like everyone wants to avoid it now. They just are kind of trying to sweep it under the rug.
Wait. She wants her to clearly spell out who in her family is Black.
Her father.
You don't deserve that. You know, but even if you don't deserve it, you playing with it. Let me just leave that.
Especially when you have biracial kids and they're going to go through these same type of things.
Exactly.
They're going to deal with this. They're going to deal with this. There's going to be people that's going to be testing they Blackness and all that. So what you going to do then? What you going to tell them then? She's just a terrible person.
She is. It's terrible.
Like she throws up
Terrible
photos of her
queen.
grandparents. He needs to specifically ask her about Beryl. Be like, is this your grandma in your book? This is a photo. This is Iris Finnegan. This are you saying this woman that you are showing us a photo of was your grandmother and you were close with her? Yes, no, circle yes, no, maybe, I don't know. And I'm gonna text him actually because I actually have his number because I was on Power 105 about maybe just a couple months ago. I'm gonna ask him to also point blank ask her whether or not she was married because I want to see what she says. If she says no, and we uncover the fact that she was, then this woman is a deranged psychopathic liar, and I do believe she is. By the way, I don't think she has a personality. I think
Okay.
she's like some.
All right. So you heard what she said, right?
Hmm.
Now, I want to do something. You may not be able to see it, but 21 hours ago, update. She just said if she was married, she's a deranged psychopath. Yeah. In the comments, pinned by Candace Owens. Update. We were able to determine that the marriage certificate we came across was for a different Kamala. Let's all please focus our attention on trying to discover the correct one. So it was not her after all. Someone in Canada or the UK likely will know more as we await more information from the journalist. We do not have a groom name. Please email us at info@candaceowens.com if you find more. So now
See,
you know that she is not a deranged psychopath. What is wrong with this woman? You're going to get yourself in some serious trouble.
right to Vessel point. Her point from earlier that she may end up being the face of a few lawsuits because she's making some extraordinary claims out here, and you're
Yes.
gonna have to prove them one day.
The
I hate to be
comments.
you.
Oh, it was the comments, right? I saw some comments. Right, look at Rhonda Tucker. This is a white woman. She says, I'm a 63-year-old southern white woman, and I've never heard of anyone using a bathtub to clean greens. That's disgusting.
Well, you should get out
People
more.
people thought that Trump was being petty when he asked about Obama's birth certificate. My husband is 27 years. My husband of 27 years is originally from Rwanda, Africa. He came here legally, became a citizen, put himself through college, became an accountant, and we've now got three grown sons. Neither of us could stand Obama from day one. Seen right through him immediately. What did he do to you guys? Huh? Um, Candace is single handedly bringing down Kamala's whole career. You bunch of jokers. Huh?
This is all fiction. All
She
fiction.
was a spoiled brat who came from wealth. She doesn't know what it means to struggle financially. The only struggle she has is the ability to think cognitively.
Right.
Thank God for people like Candace, someone who isn't afraid of something called the truth. This one says, how insulting is it to black men that she waves marijuana in their direction, assuming they'll follow like it's catnip? What a racist piece of shit.
How can she
Reggie,
be racist?
what is racist about that? What is wrong with these people?
What? How could she be racist towards black people? She is black.
Melvin Sims, 65-year-old American black man here to say, God bless you and everything you do. Reggie, these things like this just make me, I just think, wow, what is going this country? Hey,
It's because some men, they, it doesn't matter what the circumstances, they refuse to vote for a woman, and they'll make every excuse
mm,
on planet Earth about this person.
yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
I mean, what more can Donald Trump do to to black people? What more can he do?
Mm,
And they'll still vote for him over her. It's just sad. But again, like I told you, we were bred and raised to be coons, and if you don't actively fight that, that's what you're gonna be.
hmm. So here she says, someone said, all black people are not voting for Kamala. That includes me and many others. Don't listen to the media. I clicked on this one. Someone says, well, 100%. Someone says, no one is expecting people to vote based on race. That's just stupid. Someone says, Democrats do. You'll be surprised. Good. Encourage others to update their voter registration to unaffiliated. What does that mean?
Because on a voter registration, it asks you, are you Republican, Democrat, what are you? And then you could proceed to, fill out the rest of the ballot.
Right. Okay. Who else won't be voting Harris 2024? Lots of papers disappeared from Kamala and Barack's background. Really? I've been saying Barack Obama was not culturally black since he first came on the scene. People chewed me out. So happy to see he's in the doghouse with people who used to praise him. What are they? Who are these people? Who are these people? Barry calling black men the brothers is just as hilarious as Kamala's fake black accent. What the fuck? These people. The
She grew
hate.
up in Oakland. How is her accent fake?
The hate that Madam, what is her name, is busy brewing here. This, whatever this is here, hmm, I'm not even trying to do. Well, guys, that has been the end of the stream, but we're going to do more on Kamala. Sorry, not Kamala. Well, it will involve Kamala, but Candace. I want to look at Candace's Christian views and her Christian values because she's a Christian after all. I want to look at what is it that this one believes. Sits there and is pointing fingers. Reggie, I thought they said you should not before you go, and this is what their book says. Before you go and remove the speck in someone's eye, first start by removing the beam in your own eyes. Madam, what's her name? Has the big beam in her eyes, but she's busy wanting to remove the little speck in somebody else's.
I just think that some people just want to go back to being slaves. She's one.
Wants to go back to being a slave.
Hmm.
No, I think no, Reggie, but in her mind now she's married to a white man, so she could never be taken as a slave. No, she's privileged now. She's
She's a
up on
wench.
top. They said a wench.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Vessel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I just can't believe how one person can just have so much hate and negativity within them. She can't even talk properly. It's
Mm.
like like she's just about to burst with all that hate within her.
Reggie,
It's
Reggie, you
mind.
said to sorry, love. Go on.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But Reggie, you said to remind you about proving something.
Oh yeah. Let me pull it up.
Right, guys, do not forget to give the stream a thumbs up. I've got super chats if you would like to make a contribution to the stream. Every little does help and goes a long way to bring, this kind of content to you. Thank you to my co-host Reggie and Vessel of Dishonor. Um, yes, so and my members. I've got out of the members, we've only got today. We've only got Thunder Scorpion here today. But yeah, thank you. If you would like to join the membership, please go ahead and do so. Well, thank you, everyone.
So this is her in 2016, right? The
Right.
lawsuit filed in May accused the city of failing to act in part because one of the callers is the son of Sanford Mayor Daniel Malloy. The exact amount the board of Education paid the family of Candace Owens, now an 18-year-old Stanford High graduate, was made public yesterday after the advocate filed a Freedom of Information request last week. The Board of Education spent an additional $25,000 on legal expenses, including representation by a Hartford law firm, Shipman and Godwin LLP. School board spokeswoman Sarah Arnold said. The case was terminated 2 weeks ago at a settlement conference, according to court records. As part of the settlement, the Board of Education denied any wrongdoing and liability. The school board has 30 days from the settlement date to pay the Owens family by the check to their attorney, Norman Pattis. The entire 62,500 tab will come out of a 375,000 legal fund. The case was resolved to the mutual satisfaction of both parties, said Patrick Fahey, one of the attorneys who represented the Board of Education. He declined to comment further. Neither Pattis nor Robert Owens, the father of Candace Owens, returned phone messages. The Board of Education attempted to keep the terms of the settlement from being disclosed because of confidentiality clause, but the Freedom of Information Commission said that any settlement funded by taxpayers is public record unless it is sealed by court. The settlement marked the end of a year-long controversy that stoked racial tensions and political drama. Last February, at least one of the five teenagers sitting in a car left messages threatening to kill Owens, who was black, and repeatedly used a racial epithet. In one of the three messages, one of them referred to her as dirty and threatened to burn her house down and tar and feather her. The group included Malloy's youngest son, Sam, then 14. The mayor released a statement in March saying his son cooperated with police and did not know the alleged ringleader, even Potek or Owens, before the night of the calls. He has declined comments since then. Kopech, now 18, was a former friend and classmate of Owens. 2 days before the phone incidents, they had a shouting match during class. School officials suspended Kopech for that, but would not discipline him and the other boys for an incident committed off school grounds unless the police made an arrest, which drew criticism from the state National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. Owens left school for 6 weeks, saying it was a traumatic it was traumatic to attend with the alleged callers. She returned after Kopech was arrested in late March. Another teen was arrested later that spring. School officials would not say whether they disciplined Kopech after the arrest. The lawsuit said that the decision to delay suspensions amount to a failure to protect Owens. The suit accused the city of violating the federal Title IV rule banning discrimination in schools that receive federal funding. The school system was continuing to do nothing to protect Ms. Owens from repeated harassment and intimidation by the young man and their friends, the suit stated. None of the students involved in the case attend Sanford High anymore, Arnold said. Candace Owens was arrested in an unrelated harassment case in October. In November, Kopech pleaded to being a youthful offender and has his case sealed. He will have no criminal record. He faced charges of first-degree harassment and second-degree intimidation by bigotry or bias. It is not known whether Malloy's son was charged. He he is a juvenile. So my point of showing all that is that she be talking about all this stuff that like Black Lives Matters members are making this shit up and things are not this bad. Listen, you was getting your life threatened. You sued. Your brother was getting intimidated. You was getting called all kind of names and all kind of shit. So it's real, Candace. Stop faking the deal. You know what it is.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for pulling out that information. Um, yeah. If there was anyone who the definition of the word COON, it will be
Hmm.
her. It will
Yes.
be her. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But we'll be back again tomorrow. I really want to, dig into her, what she believes. I've seen a few videos, some of the wild things that come out of that big mouth of hers. Ooh, guys, please make sure to subscribe to Reggie. That's his link over there. Make sure to go give him a follow. Yeah, he could do with having his subscribers up. Yeah, we just 666. Thank you for joining, everyone. Get walk. Just keep in, just as we're getting ready to to exit. But yeah, guys, please make sure you can share the videos. You can, give it a thumbs up so we can, get the views up. So anyway, folks, thank you all so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, people?
Good
Right.
night.
You want to say any last words?
Oh, good night.
Russell,
Yes, ma'am.
any last words?
Words fail me.
Hmm?
Words fail me. This woman is evil.
She is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, bye
She's evil.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.